It's the most beautiful time of the year. You guessed it right, it's Christmas for every NBA fan out there. We don't remember an NBA playoff landscape as unpredictable as this one, making predictions harder than ever. So let's see what experts have to say about the 2022 playoffs. First, let's talk about the expert analysis on NBA 2022 landscape. The NBA's playoffs get a lot of hype, and rightly so. This year's main focus is on the Los Angeles Lakers. The preseason favorite to win the NBA title would sneak in and have a chance at a playoff position. After the Lakers were eliminated, the focus shifted to another preseason favorite for the championship, the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers in their play-in game on Tuesday, claiming the Eastern Conference's number 7 seed. Now the question is if they can become the first team from the lowest playoff seed to win an NBA championship. The Phoenix Suns are a top fave team to win the Western Conference, but there are many teams itching to dethrone them, including the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies. From the top-seeded Miami Heat to the second-half juggernaut Boston Celtics and the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks, the Eastern Conference appears to have many teams capable of winning a top spot for the first time in years. Then there's the Brooklyn Nets, who were previously considered favorites to win the championship and boast one of the best scoring duos in the NBA in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. The Dallas Mavericks were a dark horse to reach the NBA Finals, but they may not even make it out of the first round due to a calf injury to Luka Doncic, who will miss at least Game 1 of their first-round series against the Utah Jazz. Despite the uncertainty, we've compiled a list of predictions to each playoff series, including the mighty champion. So take notes, screenshots, however you roll. Don't say we didn't tell you. Now, we have expert predictions on level of competition. So hold tight while we give you a rundown on what the experts are saying as NBA 2022 is shaping up to be a wide-open race for the crown in 2022. With the Phoenix Suns showcasing their best regular season record in the league and finishing 8 games ahead of the second-place Memphis Grizzlies, the current Western Conference champions, led by Devin Booker and Chris Paul, are out to make amends for last season's Game 6 finals loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. The Suns face a number of West contenders, including Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, MVP favorite Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, and the Golden State Warriors, who are making their first playoff appearance since reaching the finals in 2019. In the East, the defending champion Bucks are the 3 seed in a crowded conference, with only 2 games separating the top-seeded Miami Heat, Boston Celtics, Bucks, and Philadelphia 76ers in the regular season standings. The Brooklyn Nets, who needed to win the play-in round to claim the 7th seed, have their star power to upset the playoff bracket. Now, let's take a look at the ones to watch this season. NBA expert Kevin Pelton believes that with Kevin Durant healthy and Kyrie Irving available alongside him, the Nets have been considerably better than their overall record. Yet the Celtics aren't the same powerhouse without injured center Robert Williams III. As a result, the number 2 and number 7 seeds appear to be remarkably evenly matched. Given the star power involved, experts think that while many would predict Nets-Celtics, their bet is with another Eastern Conference series, Philadelphia-Toronto. Joel Embiid, who plays for the 76ers, is by far the greatest player in the series. However, they believe Toronto should have a coaching edge, as Philadelphia will be without Matisse Thybulle for all 3 games in Toronto, and the Raptors have the ideal mix of long, athletic guys to exploit Philadelphia's lack of athleticism, while also making James Harden's life difficult. Embiid should be more than enough to carry Philadelphia to victory in this series, but this should be a tough test for Philly, one that might easily last 7 games and send them home much sooner than they expect. Other experts are placing their bets on Dallas-Utah, because while both have a high 7-game potential, the Mavericks and Jazz should be fierce rivals. Utah hasn't had a consistent run of dominance in a long time, but the Jazz still have the best offense in the NBA. Some experts are wondering if it's too brave to predict that the East's second-seeded club will win the first-round playoff matchup. For all we know, the Boston Celtics might defeat the star-crossed Brooklyn Nets. Ben Simmons will make his first appearance of the season. The fact that there's still smoke regarding a prospective comeback makes us believe that there will be fire at some point. It'd be a strange and fitting conclusion to this never-ending saga. 1 year after his last game, Simmons returns to the court during the playoffs for a home game in Brooklyn. On the other hand, one of the best stories of 2022 has been Dallas. Luka is Luka when he's in good health. Spencer Dinwiddie has given the squad some much-needed perimeter punch, and the defense, which has been a stumbling block in the past, has been solid all season. Both clubs have been disappointments in recent postseasons, and one of them will be once more when this series is completed. Now, we have expert favorites in playoffs 2022. Bruce Brown. For the last 2 months, he's been playing at a high level. After the All-Star break, Brown averaged 14.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game, establishing himself as the Nets' premier perimeter defender, while also assisting Durant and Irving on offense. In 2 of Brooklyn's last 3 games, he's flirted with triple-doubles, and the Nets need him to continue to play at this level if they're to move far in the playoffs from the play-in round. Jaren Jackson Jr. When people think about the Memphis Grizzlies, the first player who comes to mind is obviously Ja Morant, and rightfully so. Jackson, on the other hand, has made a huge leap defensively this season, putting himself in contention for all defense and Defensive Player of the Year awards. With the Grizzlies in position to make a deep playoff run for the first time in franchise history, Jackson will have the opportunity to show the world why he and Morant are such a dynamic duo in Memphis. Desmond Bane. With his 43.5% career three-point percentage, this Memphis Grizzlies guard has established himself as a steal at number 30 in the 2020 selection. With a floor game that's only getting better, Bane has the strength to have an effect on both ends of the game. Minnesota allows a lot of three-point shots and will be focusing a lot of attention on Morant, so Bane has a chance to be a devastating second-side threat for the Grizzlies. Next, we'll talk about expert predictions for the first round. Chances are that Jason Tatum will surpass the Celtics' playoff single-game franchise record, set by John Havlicek, by scoring at least 55 points against the Nets, after scoring 50 points in Game 3 of last year's first-round matchup against Brooklyn. In the first round, the Atlanta Hawks face the Miami Heat in 2 games, and the series is set to be more competitive than the normal 1-8 carnage, which is what the Western Conference version will be. Atlanta has had an odd season, but it is a great club with playoff experience from last season's run and a guy in Trae Young who's proven he can win a playoff game on his own. Denver extends the series with Golden State's to 7 games. Curry has complete control over the Warriors' fate. They're far easier to defend if he's limited, whether in minutes or mobility. The Nuggets have the series' greatest offensive player and know how to get high percentage chances in the half court, so the Warriors' lauded defense will have to be at its best. It'll be a nip and tuck situation in any case. Now, expert predictions on the picks for NBA 2022. So our experts are spoiled for choice with this year's playoffs. With underdogs, strong contenders, sudden upsets, we've left no stone unturned in getting their best predictions to you. We're going to break them down into safe and bold picks because, hey, we like to keep things saucy. In the Eastern Conference, safe pick. Milwaukee knows how to win at this level, and it has Giannis Antetokounmpo, the 2021 Finals MVP. No one else has that upper hand. Bold pick. The Raptors had the second most wins in the East in the second half of the season, and they have championship experience, a creative coach, and enough talent. Next, in the Western Conference, safe pick. The Suns have been the greatest team in the Western Conference all season, and they will continue to be so in the playoffs. Bold pick. It's unusual for a young team to go from losing in the first round of the playoffs to reaching the NBA Finals the following season, but the Grizzlies have a star, depth, and enough offense and defense to get there, so one can dream, and dream big. Now, Finals. Can we have a drum roll, please? Safe pick. The Suns win. Chris Paul wins his first NBA title, and everyone lives happily ever after. Bold pick. Jason Tatum continues his ascension to superstardom, leading Boston to the NBA Finals for the first time in his career, while denying Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers a breakthrough. Ouch. That's a wrap for this video. What are your predictions for the playoffs? Did we hit the nail on the head? See you in the next one.